Welcome to episode 14 of Think Like a Predator. I am Feather214, but you can call me Feather, and this is my ongoing tutorial series for Predator Hunting Grounds, where I take a hunting match that I've already completed as the Predator, and will narrate the game as I explain my strategies along the way. So, just got into the match, just initiated target isolation. I'm not really in the center of the map, but that's alright. I usually recommend, I know how to find a fire team. I've gotten pretty used to it now, but if you're a new player, I recommend going close to the center of the map before you use target isolation. But sometimes it's good to pop it early too, because if you wait too long, the fire team might be all mudded up once you use it, and then it won't show up. But I still recommend going to the center of the map. So, luckily, I was pretty close to where the fire team was heading already. So we've already run into them. I took a shot, I missed it, and then not long after I was spotted, but I wasn't attacked yet. And that kind of, it was a minor indication for me, thinking maybe this fire team, they must have a good spotter on their team, but the rest of the team might not be all that keen to the Predator. So getting to know the fire team early on in the match, I like to do that. I was spotted again. I considered earlier, just a moment ago, I considered throwing a motion detector on this building. Decided not to. I should have though, but I will end up doing it later. But as you can see, I was spotted. See, I'm gonna throw that motion detector now because they're hanging out in this building. I was expecting them to, but wasn't entirely sure, which is why I hesitated earlier. Anyway, I was spotted earlier. Not a single shot was fired on me. I purposefully sat there after I got spotted because I knew most of the fire team was under that building anyway. Plus, they were really slow to react the last time I was spotted. Again, I'm a patient predator, and I like to get to know my fire team that I'm going up against. And clearly, they have a good spotter, but again, I was spotted there, not attacked immediately. One guy was peeking out the door there. I took a shot at him. I missed again. I like to take fully charged bow shots. I just like my shots to count. And of course, can't help it if I miss, but if the shot lands, I like for that shot to be a really heavy hitting shot. Landing my hits here, this guy is just pretty oblivious. Maybe he's a new player or something. They might have a few new players on this team, but I got spotted finally there, but again, wasn't getting much attention afterwards. But one guy was shooting, you can see he's shooting grenades at me, so I did leap away at that point. Otherwise, I would have just sat there and kept taking shots. I took out my axe here. I'm kind of just sitting here. Again, if you stand perfectly still, you don't have to crouch, I've learned recently. But you stand perfectly still while cloaked, you will be 100% invisible with no silhouette, anything like that. So I'm standing pretty much right next to the building that the fire team is at. I prefer to be above them somewhere just so that I have a vantage point. But again, fire team members, a lot of people do expect you to be above them somewhere in the trees or something, roofs, things like that. So it's not such a bad idea to hang out on the ground sometimes, just as long as you're perfectly still. Or at least if you're making sure that you're in a place where they're not going to see you. They did spot me. I went in for a hit and I missed before leaping away, so now I'm creeping in. I did crouch there because I wanted to conceal my footsteps, but now it looks like the fire team might be moving on. I thought somebody was in that building. They were not. They're moving over into this building, so I've got a perfect shot inside that doorway. Gonna take a few shots with the bow. Missed a shot there while the guy was staring right at me, so I was prepared. If you're gonna take a shot at somebody that's staring right at you, be prepared to leap away, even if you hit them. So I leaped away immediately. Sometimes if you land the hit, they're not gonna shoot at you, they're just gonna take cover first, which kind of leaves it open for, if that had happened, I would have sat there and maybe tried to take another shot. But I missed. They saw me, I leaped away. I'm back on another roof. And it looks like the fire team is ready to move on. Looks like they're done with this area. So I took out the axe, because a lot of times this is when you'll find a straggler. It's when they're about to move. And then right there you can see I actually... rookie mistake there. I forgot I had the axe in hand right after I brought it out. I kind of skipped a step in my head, I guess. So, minor lesson there. Remember what weapon you're holding at all times. Because I hit the L2 button expecting to aim at them with my bow when I had a shot and forgot that I was holding the axe. But again, just leaped away, not a big deal. I'm hidden. I'm using, I think one thing that really bails me out a lot in this particular match is that I'm using the disciplined specialization on my exiled predator, so he doesn't make any noises when he's cloaked. Otherwise I think they would have been all over me in this particular match. The clock is winding down. We're at 8 minutes, so I wanted to move in. It's getting time to start picking these guys off. When you're at 8 minutes in a match, you really should treat that more like you're at 3 minutes, because the fire team is getting that much closer to finishing their mission, and that means pretty soon they've been hanging out here for a while. Pretty soon they're probably going to be done, and they're going to try to get the chopper. Another reason I've found that it's kind of useful to be patient in matches and wait a little bit before you start picking them off is because, again, they're probably close to finishing their mission and they just want to get the game over with. They just want to win the game. I think it played in my favor here that I started picking them off later in the game, because right here they weren't going after reinforcements, they were just going straight for the chopper. So because they had finished their mission, just like I said. The timer in my head was right. When I saw 8 minutes, it was time to go in and start getting some claims. Only 2 guys left now when they called in the chopper, which is pretty ideal. 2 guys is good. With the chopper, we can work with that. And here's the last claim. I was about to long claim him for the finish, but we had NPCs shooting at me. I had low health, so it wasn't worth it. Think Like a Predator, episode 14. I think this is another lesson in patience. There's a lot of perks to being a patient predator. Like I said at the end there, they just went for the chopper instead of reviving their teammates. They thought they could get away with it, but that just played into my advantage. So, like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video or found it useful, helpful. Leave me some feedback, and I'll catch you next time.